Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the first video on this channel in 2019. How ridiculous is that? Feels like it isn't because I've been semi-active on all of my other outlets of posting, so I feel like I've already posted here in 2019, but I haven't. So hello. Hi! If you missed it over on my Jordan Emmons channel, I created a video talking all about, New Year's resolutions kind of things. I have 6 different areas in my life in which I want to set goals and intentions and, make changes this year. So that video was all about that. But the main one that you're gonna care about is a capsule wardrobe. And that has to do with my desire to have less amount of clothes in my life and more favorites and more quality items. And that is an intention for 2019 that I really want to dive, headfirst into. I created a video all about my thoughts behind creating a capsule wardrobe towards the end of last year. And now we're doing it. We are into winter capsule wardrobe time, and it has been a process. It is still a fluid process. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, in the total rigid capsule wardrobe setting. I still have a lot of clothes. Purging those clothes is going to be a very fluid process. I still have not really figured out kind of how to integrate dresses and skirts and things into my capsule, particularly for winter, just because I don't wear those things. So I still have a lot of dresses and skirts that just have not seen the light of day since about August. That doesn't mean that I'm getting rid of them by any means. I also am not really going to be addressing pants in this video too much, just because I wear jeans all year round. There's not a point in discussing, which pants I'm getting rid of and which ones I'm not. Plus, I'm kind of in between sizes on pants right now, so I don't personally even want to think about pants at the moment. For me, what a winter capsule wardrobe is all about is the layers on top. It's about sweaters, it's about jackets, it's about, cozy knitwear and things like that. So that has been primarily what I've been looking at in terms of organization. And just in this planning process, I've kind of developed 4 different ways that I can organize myself and frame my capsule wardrobe within. So I'm going to share those with you. The first thing that I'm looking at with planning my winter capsule is the type of item. Now, in a broad scheme of a wardrobe, that would be, tops, bottoms, dresses, shoes, those big categories. I'm just looking at, subcategories right now in the top section. So we've got your big category, we've got your subcategory, and we're paring that down even further because I'm not looking at tees and tanks right now. Those, while I do layer tees under winter items, I'm more so looking at just the definitively winter cold weather pieces. So we're talking sweaters, long sleeve knits, cardigans, jackets, things of that nature. From that point, I'm looking at how many pieces within each category do I even have, which obviously the point of starting a capsule wardrobe in the first place is to limiting the number of pieces that you're taking in and consuming. You're shopping less, and overall just having a more minimalistic attitude towards clothing. Obviously I'm not quite there yet, so I'm still very much in the purging process. But before I even started thinking of it in terms of a capsule wardrobe, I just did sort of a gut instinctual purge. So looking at all of these winter tops, I was just doing a, very gut instinct of, do I even like it? Was this a bad purchase to begin with? Would I even wear this? Have I not worn it in 10 years? Let's just get rid of it. And then also in that gut instinctual purge is, do I fit in this anymore? If the answer is no, and there's no other reason why I might be hanging on to it, it's gotta go. So over my winter break, I got rid of 14 tops, which is incredible, and I'm really proud of myself just in being able to look at something and to say, no, it's gone. That really helped me a lot and makes what I'm looking at right now a lot easier to manage, and I'm really glad that I did that first. Just clearing out of the junk first and then finding a way to clear it out even further. This season, I've also only taken in 3 pieces that would fit within my winter capsule, which I'm really impressed with. When I was going through, I was like, no, I've had all of this for a really long time except these 3, and that's pretty amazing. I'll insert cutaways of them here, but the first is a very chunky, cozy yellow sweater that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I had a yellow sweater, kind of cardigan style, for a while. It got kind of older and worn out, which my mom doesn't mind, but I do. So I passed it on to my mom. She's enjoying it very much. This yellow sweater is also the kind of thing that I would never have bought a year ago working in retail, just because it always got so hot on the retail floor, and I always thought of my purchases in terms of what can I wear to work. Now I think of my purchases in terms of what am I wearing in my everyday life out to see my friends and family, and this sweater has just been perfect for that, and I'm really glad that I have a new yellow cardigan to love. The second piece I purchased is this blue tunic top, and I really love this piece. Now I'm semi-questioning the color. I love the color. I love it with my blonde hair and my blue eyes. I am always drawn to this kind of rich cobalt blue, but it is the only thing that's that much of a blue that I have in my capsule, so I'm a little bit concerned about it. We're putting it on the back burner, but I just wore it the other day. I mean, I wear it all the time. I love the cut. I love the exterior seams. That did come in a gray though, and I'm like, ooh, should I have gotten it in a gray? But I still am really happy with it, and I'm glad that I have it. We're just gonna kind of wait and see whether this is gonna work with the rest of my winter capsule or whether this will have to be kind of put into a different capsule category down the road. And the third piece that I've taken in was actually a gift from my boyfriend's mom, and I am absolutely in love with this sweater. It is so beautiful. I love the cut. It's kind of this navy with a multicolored knit. It's really different and just interesting. I absolutely love it. I wore it in our family's Christmas pictures. I think it's just fantastic, and yeah, it's not like anything else that I have, and I'm really glad that I have it now. So overall, the fact that I made an initial purge of 14 items and I've only taken in 3 items, I'm really proud of that. I feel like I've already done my job as far as this is concerned. I'm not taking in more than I'm getting rid of. We're doing great. I still have things though that are kind of maybes that might not stay, and I'll break that down a little bit more for you. So once I did that initial purge and, you know, counted all my items, wrote them all out, I've got them into my subcategories of, you know, sweaters, cardigans, knitwear, things like that. Once I've gotten that far, I've broken them down even further into subcategories based on occasion. So I'm looking at what is a casual item, what is a slightly smarter item that, you know, if I got a desk job, I would wear it for that, or, you know, I can wear it to a meeting or, you know, to church, or things that are just a little bit, you know, more polished. And then I've got my formal clothes. So looking at that has been even more insightful for me, because I can see, you know, oh, well, maybe if I only have one formal sweater, maybe I should invest in a second formal sweater. Or if I have like 6 casual cardigans, maybe I don't need quite that many. So that's been really helpful to look at that breakdown as well. Some things in that regard that I'm noticing right off the bat: I have 6 casual jackets and blazers. Don't need that many. Partially just because I don't wear jackets and blazers quite as much as I think I would like to. I'm wearing a casual jacket right now, and I love this one, but you know, I don't need 6 of these. Like, I maybe need 3. Maybe. And maybe some of this is a matter of me needing to categorize some of these into a spring capsule, because I do find I tend to wear jackets more as spring transitional pieces when I don't want to wear like a coat anymore. I'll wear a jacket instead. So, you know, maybe that's something I need to evaluate of what should be in a true winter capsule, what can carry over into spring, and what is maybe exclusively spring. We'll tackle that one. I also broke down my cut and sew knits into long sleeve and 3/4 sleeve, and I have so many more 3/4 sleeve tops than I do long sleeve tops, which I thought was fine, and I know that I invested in 3/4 sleeve for a reason while I was working on the floor in retail, because long sleeves were just impractical. Again, I would get too hot in them. 3/4 sleeves just worked better. But in terms now, I don't find myself wearing the 3/4 sleeve ones as much. I find that they're kind of awkward to layer under certain sweaters and jackets, because then the sleeves like bunch up halfway through. The long sleeve ones, I'm finding that I want a few more long sleeve things, and that I'm just really not wearing the 3/4 sleeves. So that's gonna be something to look at, as well as what am I practically wearing and what am I not. So that's looking at it sheerly from a standpoint of numbers, but I'm also putting sort of in the back of my head which items are sort of on a maybe list. Like, I like them, I wanna keep them for now, but I wanna have them on the back burner as a, if I don't wear this by the end of winter, it's gone. Or if I can't figure out how to style this by the end of winter, it's gone. You know, there are just various items that I'm noticing, like, I haven't worn this in a while, or maybe I only wore this like twice and I've had it for 5 years, and so maybe it's gone, but I still really like it. Like, I just get attached to pieces like this. For example, I have a sweater with an owl on it, and the owl is really cute, and I'm just really attached to the owl. I think I've worn that owl sweater 3 times, and I got it in 2013. Like, I've tried to look through photo history of like, wow, when did I wear that to that, you know, event, and it was like 2013 that I bought it, and I think I've worn it like no more than 5 times. It's probably a sign that I should get rid of it, but I just love that owl. So I just have to kind of, you know, put it in the back of my head, like, if I do not wear the owl sweater by the end of this winter season, like, it's time to say goodbye to the owl. I got a black and white striped sweater. It has to be like 8 to 10 years ago, and it's my favorite. I absolutely love it, but there is a big hole in the shoulder. So I need to figure out, you know, is there a way to fix that hole? Is it beyond repair? Is there something else that I could do with this sweater? Like, could I, you know, who knows? But I need to kind of spend the season figuring out pieces like that where, you know, maybe they just need a little mending. Like, can I give them some TLC to save them, or is it time to throw them in the trash? Another piece along these lines is this white open cardigan sweater that I have. I really like it. I've always liked the idea of kind of a white cozy cable knit cardigan. I'm just not sure this is the right white cozy cable knit cardigan. I've had it for quite a few years now, and you know, sometimes I wear it and I think it's fine, and other times I'm just not very happy with it, mostly because the knit is very open, so you can see through it. And I think I might want something that's a little tighter, more closed up, particularly being able to see through the sleeves. Then if I wear a t-shirt, then you've got a line here. If I wear a tank top, that's just kind of weird in the winter, because to then have like bare arms under a sweater. If I wear long sleeves, then like the white sweater knit gets all over anything I have underneath it. So it's one of those things, I like the idea of it, but if I can't figure out how to style it and make it work, maybe that's the kind of item that I want to find a replacement for. And the last way I'm analyzing my winter capsule is by color story, and let me tell you, that has been an adventure. So back in the day, even when I first started this YouTube channel, I wore very bright colors, lots of bold patterns. Like, I was just into like flaunting every color of the rainbow. That's not really my jam anymore. I wear a lot of gray, a lot of neutrals, and my winter capsule, when I've broken it down, are pretty still rooted in blacks and grays and creams, and that's great. And I want to keep it that way as sort of the grounding force behind the capsule. But I still really like color, and it was just interesting to me to see what colors I actually have within my capsule, because I think I've always known that I have color, but I didn't really realize what colors I was gravitating towards. I'm gonna overlay my color story here that I figured out. Obviously on the top row, I've got my neutrals. That's pretty self-explanatory. In the middle, I've got my cool colors. So I've got, you know, these light pinks and mauves that go into kind of plums and burgundy, and then I've got blue and navy. And then on the bottom row, I have my warm colors. So I've got kind of coral and a rust. I've got that goldenrod yellow, and I've got olive. Now, I know some of you are probably gonna be like, Jordan, green is definitely a cool color, but olive tone does skew a lot warmer. And when I look at it in the breakdown of everything, it doesn't really fit within the cool color category for me. What's interesting about this, I've also, if you'll notice, have some of the colors in rectangles versus ovals, and those are my outlier colors, which in the scheme of, you know, the layout here, they don't look like outliers, but they're outliers because I only have like one piece of that color. So I only have one pink sweater. I have that one blue tunic top that's kind of that bold blue. Everything else is within the navy realm. I have one coral jacket, and then I have one olive green sweater. Now, I thought initially when I was looking at this, I was like, those colors, like if I only have one piece in that color, clearly it cannot work within my capsule. But looking at it in the larger scheme of it, I think maybe they can. So that's something that I just want to explore, is this integration of color within my capsule, trying to figure out how to style these things within my capsule with either accessories or layering, or, you know, figuring out where these pieces fit, or if they even fit. I'm particularly concerned about that coral jacket. It's this vegan leather coral jacket. I've had it for a very long time. I really, really love it. I don't wear it a whole lot, and so I'm thinking it probably is time for it to go. It's still in really great shape. I could totally, you know, donate it to a friend, or, you know, sell it off, something like that. But I just like it, and I've always been attracted to that coral color. What I don't know too, that might be one that needs to transition into my spring capsule as sort of a spring layering piece for me, because that coral just might work with some of the other things that I have in spring. That olive sweater, I love the olive sweater. That's definitely staying, but it is just kind of funky seeing it with the other colors. Like, it doesn't necessarily work with anything else, but maybe it doesn't have to if it's just an olive sweater. I don't really know. So again, color story is something that I didn't even really consider with a capsule because I was mostly focused on just getting rid of stuff, not so much thinking of like theming my capsule around a color story. I didn't even think that that was going to be possible for me just because I have such a weird variety of colors, and I've got like one random maroon thing here and one random yellow thing here. But putting everything down into list form just has really made me realize that I do gravitate towards specific colors. I didn't think that I did. I'm glad to see that I do have more of a narrow focus of colors that I gravitate towards, because like I said, I used to be all over the road. If I had done this, you know, color story list before I did my purge of those 14 items, I would have some weirdo colors in there. And I did kind of take that into account when I was choosing which items to get rid of. I had a couple like odd teal colored sweaters and cardigans that I was like, these don't go with anything, I gotta get them out of here. And even now looking at some of these things, it's like, I don't know if all of these will make the cut towards the end of the season, but that's part of this planning process and sort of figuring out what I like and where I'm headed. And I think that's kind of all I figured out so far. Maybe? As I said before, I'm still very much in the early stages of the capsule process, so it's not even a thing where I can like show you this is my whole winter capsule because I'm not there yet. I think the goal with these videos is sort of to document my progress and to sort of tell you what my thought process is in what my thought process is in terms of planning and processing and organizing. And I think this time of year in particular, in January, like organizing videos are great. I have been watching a ton of them. It's been really helpful. But yeah, just looking at other people's capsule projects for winter, figuring that out, you know, also just determining, as I've said in my last capsule wardrobe video, seasons are so out of whack in Illinois. Like today it's in the mid-50s and in 2 days it's supposed to be like 20 degrees. Like how am I supposed to dress for that? I don't know. Yeah, and so the goal I think every season is going to be to have one planning video, and then at the end of the season to share my purge with you, share what I got rid of, what I decided was not necessary, and kind of where we ended up at the end of the season. And hopefully after a year of doing planning and purges, then I'll have a more streamlined wardrobe, and that's a really exciting thing. A little scary. It's a big project to take on in the year, but I'm really excited to share it with you, and I hope that you're excited to hear about it because this is going to be a year-long journey with you. And if you're not interested, we'll have other content this year too. But regardless, I'm thankful that you tuned into this video. If you made it through the whole thing, congratulations. And I'm excited to, you know, go on this journey in 2019 with you. I am hoping to post a lot more content this year, again on my Jordan Evans channel, where I talk about 2019 goals. I sort of dabble in what my plan is as far as content posting. I'm off to a really good start. I have posted every day that I've said I was going to post. So yeah, we're starting off strong. Hopefully we will not trail off as the year goes on, but if you want to hold me accountable, that would be superb. And I love you very much. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.